I just liquidated probably 25% of my sports cards, although ironically it might be 10% of the value. So this was a lot of low dollar stuff and it was a pain to sell. I learned a lot of things along the way. Some eBay hacks. I learned how to get all the benefits of the promotion without paying for it. I learned some loopholes in their authentication program that should help you out. The lot loophole. We've got some crazy stuff happening with auction houses and shill bidding I'm going to walk through. I'll tell you about how I consolidated. I've got a set I'm going to be selling at some point, depending on what happens with auction houses. And also talk about shipping. Like I've learned, not to go too fast. And a couple of shipping hacks. I've got a box right here I'm going to explain. And I think that's going to be really helpful. And then I got a couple hacks with bubble mailers. So this is actually going to be like jam-packed. It's my thoughts on everything and also some tips on how to sell stuff. So first and foremost, thank God I have a following on Instagram. I'm very grateful for this because it allowed me to avoid eBay for like 97% of these cards. I was able to just post a story or a video or whatever, and I could do private deals with people. Amazing. And they all went through without a hitch, except for one where I screwed up his address. It's coming back to me. So that's my first lesson. If you're going to sell like 100 cards in a weekend or a week, just slow down. That's not actually one other person. I forgot to ship them a card. So I had to send them the money back for that one. So slow down, but that's like an obvious tip. So eBay is not the end-all be-all. I had a lot of success in the 1986 Fleer Facebook group. That may not be your card or your set or whatever, but I assure you there's a Facebook group for your card or set, or there's a modern group or a vintage group. Check those groups out because you can vet people, you can ask for vouchers, it's protected by the administrator, and people don't really want to screw you because they're not part of the group anymore. So that was like really super helpful. But eBay, some of the hacks, we got what you could do is, like, let's say you want to sell a Bill Russell rookie card. I got one up on eBay right now. You put it for a price that it will not sell, like $200,000 or something like that. And you choose the promotional fees and you just blast it out there at buy it now with a best offer so people can communicate with you and you can field offers. And then when you get to a point where you feel like you've had enough contact with people, just kill the listing and then relist the card with a reasonable buy it now price that somebody will clearly snag because they've already tried to buy it at that price. It's a great hack to get eyeballs. I think it's only going to work until about mid-December, maybe even the end of the year. It's kind of a gray area with their terms of service, but I don't think it's going to get you kicked off. They don't audit it or anything like that. And I know somebody who's been doing it for years, so not really a big deal. Okay, couple other things I learned. Their authentication program sucks. I sold a $1,000 card, a rare 69 Topps card, and what happened was their authentication program is not allowed to review on-card autographs. They're just not allowed to do it. So something like this, they will make sure it's authentic and in a PSA slab, but this autograph right here is not part of the scope of the authentication program. And my card failed. And I was pissed. I went on a rager, and you could probably see the video a week back where I just cooked eBay for millions of views on Instagram because of what they did. I think it was messed up. I actually know what happened with this card. Basically, a lot of people have tried to pass it past PSA. I think they got pissed off. They just don't like the card, and they wanted to just make sure it doesn't enter their ecosystem anymore. So I thought that was kind of a funny thing, but it ticked me off and the buyer wanted it. So now I got to do a private deal with the buyer and the whole thing was stupid and it added shipping time and I'm not ever allowed to like list it again. And, the excuse they used is didn't match the listing, but the listing literally said poor and it was a raw card. So it's wild, but there's a way around it. There's a way around all of this. They don't authenticate lots. So all you have to do is stick this card with a $1 Topps basketball card or something like that, and you just call it a lot. It's a lot that has this Ewing card, and then that other card's in there, and it circumvents the whole authentication process. So you're welcome. do that. I highly recommend it. What else did I learn about here? The shipping's cool. So I've been a big fan of pirate ship for a long time. I use the Postal Service for the most part because it takes a lot for somebody to risk their pension to steal your cards. It does happen. But they tend to be pretty good. I had one mishap with an overnight thing, but I learned some cool tricks to like save on supplies. These things, I can get them on Amazon for like, these are bubble mailers, 9x7. I can get them for like 50 cents, right? You can mail one card like this pretty safely. You can mail two cards like this pretty safely with just like a piece of paper in between. But what I ended up doing was I mailed up to like 7 cards in these things just by putting a couple in this one and folding it. And then, by the way, save the planet. I left the strip intact so they could literally just pull this out and use this for themselves. So it's, it's another nice, no one's like thanked me for a free bubble mailer, but I thought it was kind of cool that you could do that and save on supplies a little bit. So I'd stick a few of these and I'd get 7 or 8 cards. The other thing I found out was this is amazing. I think I got this for $15. Okay. It's full of, I can link it up or something. If you guys are interested, just leave a comment and I'll link. It comes with like, I don't know, 100 of these. If you fold this into place nicely, it almost perfectly fits 7 slabs. And you can just kind of fill the corners with like crumpled paper or whatever. It was amazing. So I learned to do that too, and it's pretty crush proof. So I highly recommend that. That was awesome. And being able to track everything in Pirate Ship's great. And then at the end of the year, I expense my shipping costs because it's a business if you're buying and selling cards over a certain amount of money. And you can easily print the reports. So I totally dug Pirate Ship. It was pretty awesome. The other thing that was pretty crazy was the shill bidding controversy. I did some shorts on here about it, but P. Ryan came out. Patrick Ryan, he owns a lot of cards. He's on Instagram, pretty active there. You know, he came out and like he accidentally bid on his card in an auction, and people just barbecued him for it. He admitted it was an accident, but then he kind of went postal for like a couple hours, and he started blaming Jeff Wilson for paying people to bid on cards for him, and Teapot, who works for Jeff Wilson. And for a minute that night, I was like, oh my God, like the stuff that P. Ryan knows, like he's well connected, he's at every party, he knows everybody, he has relationships with every auction house. The amount of social capital and knowledge in his head was scary for me. And if he started to like divulge everything, I was a little bit worried that the modern hobby would not survive. So my takeaway from that whole fiasco is that I think there is a lot of funny business going on in the high-end auctions. I texted 10 people with, 7-figure plus net worths, 8-figure net worths. I told them, do not bid on any auctions for the next 2 months until the auction houses come out and say something like Golden and Leland and Heritage. They all come out and say like, all right, guys, here's what we're doing. Here's our policy. We will ban everyone for life that's ever caught or admits shill bidding, or everybody even associated with them from life, from all auctions. They band together. That would give a little bit of confidence. I think like 90% of my followers say they'd feel better about that. So that was kind of a crazy situation that went down in the middle of me selling everything, because I have the 69 Topps Tall Boys, the NBA, the white cards, Kareem's rookie year. I have that set autographed, and I was really prepping to auction that thing. I was talking to Ken, and I was lining up my guys to broadcast this on Instagram. Then this all went down. I'm like, I'm probably going to chill with it for a while. I'm certainly in no rush. Don't need the money. I'm just consolidating my collection right now. And it feels so damn good. What ended up happening was I chased after my second 1986 Fleer autograph set, and I just became such a chore to get the last 10 deceased guys, because they cost a ton of money and they don't sign any more cards because they're not here anymore. So I realized like 10 cards away or 20 cards away, I'm good. So I ended up merging the set into my existing 1986 Fleer autograph set, and it's rising up the registry ranks. And I'm going to have I'm not selling that. It's going to my son, and whatever, he can use it for a house or just keep it. I'm going to just keep that forever, and I want to make it the best it can be. So that it felt like the last 2 years I've just been spend on cards. You pay your eBay, you pay the credit card, you pay people in private deals. It has been so cathartic and nice to receive money. It's like, send a card out $5,000, send a card out $300. amazing. It's like boop, 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 the bank account's up. And I'm not really doing anything with it necessarily. I'm just taking chips off the table because I think we're in like year 6 of an 8-year bull run. The world breaks every 8 to 10 years. We're on year 6 now. We don't know what's coming, and I just feel better. Like if I'm up on something, I'm taking chips off the table. I still got a few more things for sale. I'll show off real quick, actually. I know I got some grief. I didn't show off cards in the last one. This is a Bill Russell signed rookie card. I have it up on eBay right now. I got his 61 in action too. I've got a signed Kuzi rookie card. I also have a Kuzi 1961. It's a 5.9, which is pretty crazy. This one right here, that's also on eBay. So if you guys want to do deals on those, let me know. I'm here. I'm on Instagram as Boston Card Hunter, or you can follow me here and leave a comment, and I can give you like the Gmail address that I use for these types of things. So it's been amazing. The other cool thing is relationships. I've gotten to meet, I don't know, 30, 40 new collectors virtually, not at a card show, which is kind of fun. And they've been really thankful. Like one person bought, a hockey card for $75 that's going to a kid in a wheelchair. That's a huge fan. That's pretty dope. And that was like a TTM I got back like 3 years later of Mark Fleury that I don't really care about, but it's going to make some kid's day, which is awesome. And then I think like overall, it's been a good process. I recommend as a collector, you do this every couple of years. You look around and be like, what do I want to keep forever? And what's just collecting dust and, like non-productive assets in a safe? And I just don't need all this stuff. So I've consolidated, I guess the 3 centerpieces of my collection now are the 86 Fleer base and sticker autograph set. That just went for $500,000 on Golden. So that's a really nice centerpiece of my collection and legacy that will go to my kids. The 69 Topps NBA set, I don't know, maybe that goes for $250 at auction. May sell it privately, may keep it. I'm not sure what mood I'm in now based on the auction house funny business. I've also got the first edition Shadowless Pokemon set. I'm like 4 holos away. That thing has popped this year, the hollows and everything. So I feel pretty good about that. I have some ancillary stuff. I'm working on the Skybox prototype autograph set, which is going to be pretty amazing. And once I'm done with that, I think I'm just going to chill for a bit. Like, I don't need to just collect all this stuff. Like, I'm going to put money in other places, real estate, stocks, the usual balanced portfolio. But it's a fun exercise. I learned a lot, and I hope you did too. Thanks, everyone.